The downfall of the gullible. Othello, a foreigner and a commander in the army, is stationed in Venice after he elopes with a rich Venetian's daughter Desdemona. He picks Cassio to a lieutenant, the job Iago wants, which initiates Iago's revenge plan against Othello. Iago plays everyone so that Othello believes that Desdemona is cheating on him with Cassio, the man who stole Iago's job. Iago used his wife Emilia and many other characters, including Cassio and Rodrigo, to stage what looks like Desdemona's betrayal against Othello. Iago manages to get Desdemona's handkerchief in the hands of Cassio. He also tells Othello about the mysterious and suspicious dreams Cassio has of Desdemona. Iago successfully makes Othello paranoid about his wife's faithfulness. Othello, after Iago told him about the affair and having sufficient proof, then strangles the innocent Desdemona in her bed. Soon after, she covers for him for not being guilty. After Desdemona dies completely, Emilia comes in along with most of the other characters and exposes Iago as the villain once she has pieced it all together, leading to Iago killing her as well. Iago is then chased out and both of them and Othello are held guilty for their crimes. Othello stabs himself and Iago is reprimanded for his crimes. My first device was a biblical allusion. You mistress, that have the office opposite to St. Peter, and keep the gate of hell. Othello is saying that when Desdemona dies, she will guard the gates opposite to St. Peter, who guarded heaven. He is condemning her to hell because Iago has tricked Othello to believe that Desdemona is having an affair with Cassio. Othello goes further to say that she will not just go to hell, but she will be worse than those condemned to hell because she will be guarding the gates. This allusion exemplifies the loss of trust Othello has towards his wife due to Iago's misconception. My second device is metaphor. O beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is a green-eyed monster with which doth mock the meat it feeds on. Jealousy is compared to a monster because it takes over the mind and thought process, and how the perpetrator can become green with envy. This reveals how jealousy can take over the normal mind and turn it into a monster. Device 3. Symbolism. This is a fault. That handkerchief. Did an Egyptian to my mother give? She was a charmer, and could almost read the thoughts of people. She told her while she kept it. The handkerchief was a token of love given from Othello to Desdemona. The handkerchief was given to Othello with sentimental value, so the significance of the gifting such a possession to anyone would insinuate genuine and strong feelings for that person. The handkerchief given to Desdemona was a huge gesture of love, and when it was discovered with Cassio, its effect was emotionally damaging and a slap in the face, as it appears the token was taken for granted. Device 4. Foreshadow. All's one, good faith, how foolish are our minds! If I do die before thee, prithee shroud me in one of those same sheets. The foreshadowing reveals Desdemona's murder by Othello in their bed. The significance behind this foreshadowing is the bed. The bed symbolizes love in their holy matrimony. However, their marriage grew sour due to Othello being deceived that Desdemona had an affair. So the bed is where Desdemona, like their matrimony, dies. In The Kite Runner, Hazaras are looked down because of their religion. The discrimination isn't justified, but they continue to maintain it. Similarly, in Othello, the more Othello is looked down on because of something menial. In this case, his race. He is seen as a lesser being because of something insignificant. In the real world, gender inequality continues to be a very prominent issue. Similarly, in Othello, women are looked down upon. Women are seen as worthless until they marry. Desdemona disobeying her father was seen as a grave sin. Setting. Othello takes place in Venice, a city in Italy, where everyone in Venice is Italian, so Othello stands out because he is black, a foreigner, and a Moor. This leads to Othello being degraded throughout the whole play and affecting the relationships he shares with many people by allowing them a reason to hate him. Venice is in northern Italy. During the 15th century, Venice began to lose power because it had less colonies than other societies. My favorite quotes are, O God, that men should put an enemy in their mouth to steal away their brains. In this quote, Cassio drinks alcohol and forgets what he does. I like this quote because it shows that when we do stuff we know is bad for us, we will always end up in regret. The robbed that smiles steals something from the thief. He robs himself that spends a bootless grief. I really love this quote because it essentially says that you can take away the happiness from the theft by showing it didn't affect you. Reputation is an idle and most false imposition, oft got without merit and lost without deserving. You have lost no reputation at all unless you repute yourself such a loser. I love this quote because it expresses the fragility of reputation and how easily it can be lost, even when a person doesn't necessarily have to do anything to lose it. Therefore, reputation is idiotic because it can alter even when not rightfully so. To mourn a mischief that is past and gone is the next way to draw new mischief on. I like this quote a lot because it says that if you keep looking in the past will keep occurring. It's a nice thought and similar to the old yet comforting cliche, what's done is done. Unique discoveries. Many famous phrases such as green-eyed monster and wear your heart on your sleeve came from Othello. Othello being a Moor was mentioned many times throughout the piece, however nobody else's religion was mentioned at all. Iago has the most lines in the whole novel. I think this is funny because it's accurate to the saying running your mouth. Iago ran his mouth the whole time so he could accomplish his plan. My final analysis, I did not like Othello. It was boring, long, and hard to understand. Although Othello had some cool quotes with relatable themes, the majority was literally just trash talk, and as much as I love gossip, old 15th century talk is not my cup of tea. I also did not like reading as the Duke, who is literally the only character that rhymes. It's super ironic because dukes usually have gestures, and the rhyme scheme definitely seemed like a gesture thing.